Welcome aboard the Ear to There podcast, the podcast that'll help you vacation like a pro in any Disney destination. For those of you standing, please sit down and hold on throughout our journey and get ready to learn how to have the time of your life. And now, here's your host, Phil Gramlich.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Ear to There podcast. I am your host, Phil Gramlich. I'm also the owner and operator of Ear to There Travel, which is a Disney-specialized travel agency. And right off the bat, you are saying to yourself, what the heck is going on? It is a Thursday. This is not an Ear to There podcast day. And you would be exactly right. Thursdays are not normally the days that I put out a podcast, but I wanted to do kind of a fun special edition Thursday podcast. So, well, here we are. As you know, a couple of weeks ago, my family and I, or maybe as you don't know, or if you don't know, is that right? I want to say, if you don't know. Okay. A couple of weeks ago, my family and I went on a land and sea vacation to Walt Disney World and for a cruise on the Disney Wonder. And I've been promising people on the Facebook page and the website and everything else a review of our trip, a kind of step-by-step, how did the trip go, what happened, what was it like? So this is, and welcome to episode 58, a complete review of our land and sea vacation featuring the lovely, the very talented, the hilariously funny Amy Gramlich. Yes, my wife. And I am not just saying that because I might get in trouble if I don't say it after she listens to this episode. Okay, maybe I am saying it for that reason and that reason only, but still, I think she does a fantastic job on this episode just the same. So, as I always say, grab a drink, grab a snack, and as a famous mouse once said, on with the show. All right, so last week or 2 weeks ago, no, I'm doing the intro to the thing.
Are you recording?
Yeah.
Oh.
Let's start over. I might keep this in because this was actually kind of fun.
Okay, you didn't tell me you were recording.
Supposed to pay attention. All right. So last week, or no, I guess it was 2 weeks ago at this point, we took our first ever land and sea vacation. So we brought the kids. I reluctantly brought my wife, Amy, and we had a great time. So here, as my guest this week, is the aforementioned, my beautiful wife, Amy Elizabeth. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. This is the second time in 5 years that you had me, and I really appreciate you thinking of me.
Well, I didn't really. I just couldn't do this one by myself, so I needed to add somebody, and the kids don't have the attention span. We actually tried recording it on the ship, recaps of the days, and they were falling asleep, and they weren't really into it, so it didn't really work out. All right, so the way we're doing this is we're going to look at pictures because that works a lot better than a list because I don't remember anything that we did. So we're going to look at our pictures. So for you, if you don't know, a land and sea vacation, obviously you do a trip to Walt Disney World first. We just did a couple of days, and then you follow it up with a Disney cruise. We did a 3-day cruise on the newly reimagined Disney Wonder, which was, well, we'll get to that. But it was cool.
It was amazing.
It really was. So, okay. So we started out, I think this is how insane we are. We set our alarms for, what time was it?
3:30, I think.
For 3:30 a.m. on the day that we left for our Walt Disney World part, because we had a 6:30 a.m. flight. I mentioned on the podcast before, I'm a nervous flyer. So I like flying first thing in the morning. I know you love it, and I know the kids love it. They love getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, but they don't care.
Yeah, for us it works. So we flew down. We had our alarm set. That was the most energetic they were ever at the beginning of a Disney trip. They were insane at 3:30 in the morning in the car driving to the airport. Completely insane. Like Zoe.
She was screaming, singing.
Yeah, screaming, singing at the top of her lungs, making up songs. She's 4. She's in a middle seat in the back of the car, and she was just absolutely insane on the way. So, get to the airport. Everything was smooth. Checked in. All that went really well. The kids are pros. I can't even tell you how many times they've been to Walt Disney World at this point. It's a lot. I mean, what is it? Alexa, probably, it's got to be 14 times.
Yeah, I think.
And Jack and Zoe, it's got to be 10. Maybe 11. It's a lot. They've been there a lot. We just stopped counting. And this isn't to be cocky by any means, or to rub it in your face, because you may not have done it. It's with my job, with my business, and we have family in Florida. So
and the DVC helps.
And
too.
having a DVC membership helps. But I'm not telling you to get a DVC membership. Because then I wouldn't be making any money. So don't get a DVC.
It's terrible.
Anyway, all right. So we get to Florida. Great flight. Everything went smooth. Hopped on our Disney's Magical Express. Again, if you've never done it, I recommend that wholeheartedly. Sign up. It's free. It's stress-free. You just get off your plane, walk to the counter, and you're good. You just get on the bus. It's
fun, too. They show, like, Disney videos on the bus, and it really gets you in the mood.
Yeah.
Even though you're already in the mood, I'm sure.
Yeah, we were. We were very excited. Even though, all right, well, we'll get to my mistake, my travel agent mistake a little later on in this podcast. I will, as I always say, I'm completely honest. I will always be honest. So I have man, did I make a big mistake before our cruise part.
But it hasn't had a happy ending.
It does have a happy ending. Okay. So so first day, check in, we get to the resort. We stayed at Port Orleans Riverside. Love that resort.
Incredible.
It was the one resort we stayed at the most before we had kids, or the only resort we stayed at before we had kids. Amy and I are both Yeehaw Bob Jackson fans. Like, we're groupies. So we love that. We love going to see his show. And the resort, like, I've done a whole episode about this.
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain it? Like, try to explain in your, and don't get too smarty pants on me, but because you have a much better vocabulary than I do.
Not true.
So let's go. So explain why. Like, why is that resort awesome? Like, why do we love it?
I just feel like I was going to use a big word. I feel like
I know.
It's
see, I
transformative.
had to say it for transformative, right?
It really is. Like, it really takes you to a different place in a way that even other Disney resorts, I think it's comparable to, like, Wilderness Lodge, where you really feel like you're not in just regular Florida. Like, you really feel like you're in New Orleans. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, so completely immersive is what we're looking
immersive.
for.
See? You had the big word.
Immersive is not a big word. Transformative is a big word.
No,
immersion and immersiveness is what I talk about all the time, because it's what Disney does so well.
It really is, and it's, every single little detail just is, it takes your breath away. It's amazing, and I feel like even in the rooms themselves, especially this time, I was really blown away. We had, what was that, a little Murphy bed?
Yeah, the Murphy bed.
And it was...
We have a story about a Murphy bed later, we'll have to tell you.
But anyway, it was great. So the Murphy bed was the shape, too, right, of Louis from Princess and the Frog. And it was amazing. The kids thought that was the coolest thing. And just little touches like that most people wouldn't think about, or most companies wouldn't think about, really make you feel like such a full experience,
That's true. And just so we clarify, the bed isn't shaped like an alligator. It's a rectangle.
That's what I asked you. I couldn't remember. Yeah. The actual bed isn't, but the back of it is.
So we are getting a message. So we're going to start. That's confusing when messages come through when we're trying to record a podcast. But hey, this is live. I'm not going to edit that out. We'll just leave it in there. Anyway. So when you open up the Murphy bed, there's a really cool mural of Louis or Louis, whatever his name is, from Princess and the Frog, and Ray and Tiana and Naveen as frogs. It's very cool. So we check in. Resort was great. Room was great. We went straight to Epcot, I think, right?
Yes.
For our first day. Now,
yes.
I have lost the pictures, so now I want to find it. So we went straight to Epcot. The Festival of the Arts was going on, but unfortunately it was not going on for us because it was only on the weekends. So we kind of missed out on that, but that was cool. We got to do, now I'm trying to remember what attractions we did that day. We did Soarin' again, which again is amazing.
It's unbelievable. I mean, it really is so hard to describe. Soarin', even the first version was hard to describe, but it's upgrade. It's just, it blows you away. It really does.
Yeah. And I'm so glad they didn't put it in like 3D or something.
Agree.
I think you would kind of lose the charm of that attraction.
Yes, I know what you mean.
I loved it. And I love it. People I know had an issue. I don't know if you're listening and you haven't ridden the new, is it ridden? If you haven't ridden. Yeah. If you haven't ridden the new Soarin', they added like CGI animals to every scene or to most scenes. And I read a lot of complaints. I think it's done really well.
I do too. I never noticed any issues.
Yeah, like it's really, they kind of handle the transitions between scenes. Like there's a scene where
I love that aspect of it.
There's a part where the elephants in Africa reach down into the sand and like blow sand up in your face, and that serves as a transition to like going to the Taj Mahal. It's a really cool thing. I like it. So we did Soarin'. I'm trying to remember other attractions because we don't have it on the pictures. I think.
Well, we did the character spot with Mickey and.
That's true. We always do that.
It's always great. Yeah, it's really the way that they get you through that. Very quickly is great. And once you get, even if you're waiting, once you get to that room where you can see all the characters, it really makes the wait go quickly, doesn't it?
Yeah, unless you have one of those kids that's completely stressed out and wants to see the character right that moment.
Luckily, we don't have any of them.
Yeah, we've been in that spot before where I think it was Zoe.
It was Zoe.
Was freaking out because you walk into the room and there's still a small line to meet each character. And she didn't understand why you couldn't just run right up and hug the character because he's right there.
Right.
So yeah, if you have one of those kids, you might be in
just bring a sticker book or something.
Yeah, sticker book.
To entertain them.
Yeah, we're big fans of sticker books and snacks in the queues. So then we did, I know we did another attraction. We missed our first Fast Pass. We had Fast Passes to something else. We missed it. I forget what it was. But then we walked over to Hollywood Studios. Well, we had lunch at the Electric Umbrella, which isn't the most exciting lunch. But if you want a quick burger, fries, they have the French dip burger, which we didn't get this time, but it's really good. They put, literally have like a French dip on top of a cheeseburger.
Right.
Which sounds crazy, but it's actually pretty good.
Delicious. And just for you guys who have little kids who may be picky eaters, like we do, it's one of the kind of few restaurants, at least that we found, that has the little Danimal smoothies. And they come with your meal, but you can order as many as you want. So this is our favorite restaurant for our kids because we just load up on the smoothies. And it's a good thing to know about.
Yeah, it is. And Danimals people, if you are listening, you did get mentioned on this podcast for free. And people listen. I mean, we're getting thousands of listeners here.
Sure.
So I'm expecting a case of free Danimals to show up at my door.
They like the strawberry banana blast, just so you know.
Yeah, at the Ear to There Travel compound. I'm expecting that to happen. All right, so we spent some time at Epcot. We did, a couple of attractions. We walked around World Showcase, checked out the stands that they were putting up already for the Flower and Garden Festival, which is about to start. Then we did our favorite thing, was walk over to Hollywood Studios. That walk between, we usually do it the other way. We usually go in the morning to Hollywood Studios and then finish the evening at Epcot. But this time we had reservations at, what's that restaurant called?
Hollywood and Vine.
Hollywood and Vine for dinner. So we did it the other way. We did Epcot first and then Hollywood Studios. So that walk, if you've never done it, between Hollywood Studios and Epcot is awesome. If it's not hot.
True.
If it's like 90, it's the summer. You shouldn't do it.
But we have anyway.
We've done it anyway, yeah, because it's a pain to get them between Epcot and unless you use the express transportation, which is now offered, it's a pain to get kids between those two parks. So it's the easiest to walk. We have two strollers. They fall asleep in the strollers. It's nice to be able to walk them over there.
Yes.
So we did that walk, which we always love. Went to Hollywood Studios. It looks like I'm looking at our pictures. We did Star Tours. I know we did. I can't remember what other attractions we did. Toy Story Mania, I think. Did we?
Yeah. I think that's right.
Yeah, because we saved our fast passes for the afternoon. So we did. No, we didn't.
No, we didn't.
I'm a liar.
No,
we did not do that. We did not do Star Tours. I mean,
I think you
we
only
did Star
did
Tours.
Star Tours with Alexa, and
Alexa,
then we
right.
did dinner because remember it was early dinner.
Right. So then we went to the Hollywood and Vine for dinner. It was the mini seasonal play and dine. And let's see, we're going to be honest. It was Valentine's Day. It was very crowded. There were a lot of people. There wasn't an empty table in the place. Food, as always, was excellent. The characters were very good. We just had some issues meeting Daisy and Minnie. I mean, we sat there for 2 hours and we didn't meet Daisy and Minnie. They didn't come to our table, which was a bummer for us. And at one point we had to go to the bathroom. We were told that's when they came to our table. And listen, we're both former cast members. We know how that works. Like Amy worked in restaurants at Disney. She was one of those very fancy people at Liberty Street Tavern in a bonnet and an apron. And
it was awesome.
Yeah, so we're Disney veterans. We've worked in the parks, the resorts. And,
right, because that was a character dinner too. So I know.
Right, back then was a character dinner.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, when you worked there. Back decades ago. Almost 20 years ago.
That is crazy.
19 years ago this summer.
Yeah.
We were on our college program. So we are not the young whippersnappers that we used to be.
I don't think I was ever a whippersnapper.
Huh?
I don't think I was ever a whippersnapper.
Trust me, you were a whippersnapper. So, yeah, and it could happen. I mean, the restaurant may have just been having a bad night. But when you have little kids who are exhausted from a trip, it's tough. So I think we would do that again, but we wouldn't do it on a travel day. It just was too much at the end.
I agree.
But again, you get to meet. They're all in their what was it? The Hollywood outfits.
Yeah, I mean they looked incredible. I've never seen that type of costume. It was very cool.
It was very cool. Yeah. So the second day, our next day, we went. Well, anyway, we went. The dinner was whatever. We ended up leaving pretty quickly after. The kids were beat. Went back to our resort that night, and they went to bed early. So the second day, we went to Magic Kingdom. We had not a really early wake up. I think we got up at like 7:30 or so, or 7. Let the kids sleep a little bit, and we went to Magic Kingdom. We have fast passes for Jungle Cruise, which I'm a horrible father because I realized horrible father should be put in an institution because I realized the kids had never done Jungle Cruise before this trip.
I know, isn't that weird?
It is weird. We were such Disney nerds and they hadn't done it, but we did Jungle Cruise, which the kids loved, and
they really did.
I have to say it was really cool watching Alexa because she got all the jokes that Skipper
she
did.
Yeah, she was. Oh, but Jack was into it too. I'm looking at his pictures.
Yeah, they were really into it, and the Skipper was great that we had. We got stuck for a couple minutes, and man, he just went through the whole list of jokes.
He did.
I mean, he had probably 20 jokes that he had to deliver while we were sitting stuck on the attraction. He did an awesome job. I don't remember his name. I'm sorry. That was a bummer that I don't remember his name. And then we went to. I'm flipping through the pictures. We took a lot of pictures of Splash Mountain, but we did not do Splash Mountain. We did Winnie the Pooh.
That is so great with that interactive queue.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Because remember it said it was like a 25-minute wait, but it actually took longer.
Yeah, like 35 to 40, I think.
Right, but it wasn't bad because the kids had stuff to do pretty much the whole time.
Yeah, and we call it, if you've been in the queue for Pooh, and it's basically the flu queue. Like, every single thing in that queue is touched by like a few hundred little kids an hour. So, yeah, you're not getting out of that queue healthy.
No, that's true.
There's no chance. Like, you're getting sick. I think I had my hands in my pockets the whole time.
Yeah, you have to try.
You get hand sanitized like crazy when you get out
we
there.
have to talk about.
So as you can hear, Amy is not being very professional. She's talking about the pictures that are on the screen and jumping ahead of what we were talking about.
I'm sorry, this is only my second podcast. I told you.
And I'm sure she's going to make fun of me in my podcasting like voice after.
No, I love it.
Okay. Because I kind of talk like this, but this is a little more exaggerated than I usually talk. But hey, listen, got to pay the bills. This doesn't pay me any money. I don't make any money from this. All right, so then we broke down. For a couple years, I've been refusing to go to Pecos Bill since the menu change. I didn't want to go. They took away my burger. They took away my cheese and my fixins bar, my mushrooms. I was so mad about it. But this time, Amy said, listen, we got to do something that you haven't done. Your job is to try new things. Sorry, now I'm thinking of gotta try new things because they might taste good. Sorry, Daniel Tiger. We are the parents of 4-year-olds. But yeah, Daniel Tiger's a good show. If you guys haven't seen it, you should probably check that out. But
do you expect a free Daniel Tiger?
Now I expect the free Daniel Tiger to come in the mail to the Ear to Their compound. I say compound because it sounds funny, like we're rich.
It does.
We're not. But anyway, we went to Pecos Bill. We got, Amy and I decided to get two things and split them. So we got the burrito. It was like a cilantro lime rice and some kind of ground beef, I think. Was it? Or was it
think
pork?
that's right.
No, it was pork.
Oh, it might have been pork.
A pork burrito with... Is it a burrito? Is that what it was?
Yes.
It doesn't look like a burrito.
I know. I was just wondering what it was.
So they call it a burrito, and then we got the nachos.
The nachos were amazing.
Yeah, nachos were excellent.
They were delicious.
Phenomenal. A burrito, I liked. Amy did not like. I don't know. It was a different kind of taste to it. Like the rice and...
Oh, I'm not a huge burrito fan anyway, but it was good to try. But yeah, the nachos were really outstanding. I just thought they were really, a little different taste. It was really good.
Yeah, it was good. So then kids got the churro bites, like the mini churros with the dipping sauce, and they flipped out over those.
Oh, they still talk about them.
Yeah, so I'd say like our Pecos Bill experience with this menu. And one thumb up, one thumb down.
Yeah, I would do that.
Can you do that?
Sure.
One thumb up. Like a 5 out of 10, honestly.
Yeah.
It was fine. I'm not going to seek it out again with that menu. I really won't.
But had you never been to the old Pecos Bill, it would probably be higher.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Maybe.
I think you're biased.
Not necessarily. All right, so then we went to, we left Pecos Bill. We got to speed this up, by the way. Where we at?
I know.
We're 20 minutes. We didn't even get to the cruise yet.
Well, you've got to hurry up. You're talking too much.
That's true. I am talking too much. It's a story of my life. Where the heck are the pictures? All right, here we go. So then we went over to Jack's, our son Jack's favorite attraction that we can never skip, Mickey's PhilharMagic. Awesome. The kids love it. It's his favorite thing in the world, so we couldn't skip it. And then we use our other Fast Pass to meet Talking Mickey at the Town Square Theater.
Which is always a fantastic experience.
Yeah, guys, honestly, if you haven't done Talking Mickey, either get a Fast Pass for it for later today, go when Festival of Fantasy, when the parade is going on, or go first thing in the morning when the park opens, instead of running to Space Mountain or Splash Mountain or Thunder Mountain or Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Go straight to Mickey.
I've seen it as a 10-minute wait.
Yeah, when you walk in the beginning of the day, it's a 10-minute wait because people aren't running right there.
Mm-hmm, that's right.
And it's worth it. And it's such cool technology, and it's just a really, really cool experience. Looking at our pictures now, we had dinner with friends at the Columbia Harbor House with actually Mr. Johnny Shortsleeve, who's on the podcast pretty often. He met us with his family for dinner. It was great. I know I'm not looking at Amy right now. I'm looking at the screen of my computer, but I can feel her staring into my ear because I know she wants to talk about what she got to eat at Columbia Harbor House. So take it away.
So when you go to Disney World, you don't think like, wow, I need to get a tuna fish sandwich. Like you can get tuna anywhere, you think? No. I still think about this sandwich. It is fantastic. I'm not going to discuss it at length, but it is so good. And also just the experience at Columbia Harbor House is a really nice one. We went upstairs to the upstairs tables. It happened to be that we were the only ones there, which is so rare. And it's just really nice and fun. And that feels kind of transformative too, I think. I think that's...
Is that word again?
It's just a really cool place. And for me, I think it's a little bit off the beaten path. Not everyone goes there. So definitely give it a shot. And if you go, please get the tuna fish sandwich because you will love it. If you like tuna.
The tuna, and I had a bite of it. I haven't had that sandwich in a long time. I had a bite of it and I was like, it's a tuna sandwich. Like, who cares? I tried to bite and I was like, yeah, I'm getting this next time I come. Way better than mine. What did I get? Fish and chips? No, I got the lobster roll. Lobster roll is good, yeah. But you can find those lobster rolls all over Walt Disney World, literally.
Yeah, I think that's the only place for
they're everywhere. Sandwich. Yeah, what is it? The Anchors Away sandwich, right?
Yes.
Excellent. All right, so then we left Magic Kingdom. went back to our resort, enjoyed the musical stylings of Yeehaw Bob Jackson, brought the kids. That was our first time. Well, that's a lie. We brought Alexa when she was an infant to see Bob Jackson. She obviously doesn't remember that. So we took all 3 kids. Even though they were all falling asleep, they all loved it.
They did.
They loved it. I mean,
and any kid would like. I mean, I think it's for all ages.
Agreed.
It's a great show. They keep changing it and kind of updating it, and it's just great.
Yeah, and there's not a guy. We talk about this all the time. He works so hard.
He really does.
I've never seen a guy. He is drenched in sweat like 3 songs in. He's up. He's dancing. He plays the harmonica. He plays, what is it, a trumpet or the horn?
Yep.
Plays the piano. Horn. The piano rocks back and forth the entire time he plays it. And he takes like 2 breaks in like 4 hours. Like he doesn't. True. It's amazing. He's not a young man anymore, and he puts on a heck of a show. So when I always talk about 2 things, I always talk about Yeehaw Bob and Trader Sam's. Go to both. Don't miss them on your trip. Okay.
And get the tuna sandwich.
And the tuna sandwich. Yes, and get the tuna sandwich. So then we went to bed. Obviously, got up. We had to have So what we did was we took advantage of the Disney. What are you laughing at?
Nothing. Transportation.
She's laughing at something. I'm sure there's a story coming up at my expense. So we took advantage of the Disney transportation. I think it's $34 a person from your hotel to the port at Port Canaveral.
It's so worth it.
Yeah. Listen, you could get an Uber, you could get a taxi, you could rent a car and pay to park. To me, I think it's better. I really enjoyed the Disney transportation down.
I do too.
You have to have your bag packed by 10 a.m. That's what you were laughing at.
That's correct.
Because I was a freak that morning.
I sit by like not even 7. All the bags were out. I had like all my stuff I still had to put in. He got a little nervous, but it's fine. Listen,
I'm crazy when it comes to having things on time. It needed to be in a timely fashion, and it needed to be done. So, okay. So, yeah, I knew you were going to...
We'll move on. So, we get on the bus. So, same thing as the Magical Express, where there's movies, about the cruise that you're about to go on. And the driver was amazing. We had a great driver.
Let me back up really quickly, though, because a cast member from Bell Services comes and gets your bags. The night before, Disney gives you tags, or the morning of, they will put a little packet on your doorknob that has your luggage tags, just like Magical Express. And the cast member will come and get your bags for you. And then you won't see them again until they're at your stateroom on the cruise. So that's really nice. You don't have to worry about that. So that was fun. Rode the bus. Great time. We were super excited. Got to the port. Got up in line. Super excited. Check in. And the travel agent of the group, Amy, I forgot our kids' birth certificates. I just completely blanked. I remind people that aren't us to bring proofs of citizenship all the time. And I just completely forgot to make copies of their birth certificates. And yeah, we were not getting on that ship without them.
Right. So I'm so used to Disney, and Disney is still like this, where any problem, essentially, that you come up with, they can figure out a way to solve it. But, of course, this isn't Disney. This is customs.
Yeah.
So I said in my line that I use all the time at Disney, so if we can't get the birth certificates, what can we do? What are our other options? How can we solve this problem? And they said, you can't.
Yeah. The very nice Disney manager said...
I said, so what happens if we don't have the birth certificates? She literally said, you don't get on the ship. So, of course, immediately we usher the kids away because we don't want them to know that we are freaking out. And luckily, thank goodness, we had a wonderful helper.
Yeah, long story short, I called my dad, who was home, who has the key to our house. And I said, Dad, I know where the birth certificates are. Please go get them, make copies of them, or email them to us, do something. So he came to our house, got the birth certificates, went to a store, had them faxed to the port, and we got on the ship. When I say this took probably an hour, I don't think I'm exaggerating.
No, you're not.
It felt like it was 9 hours of torture. Because we honestly didn't think, Amy and I started making plans like, all right, we're going back to Walt Disney World. We'll have to pay for a room.
Right.
And we'll have to figure this out because we're not taking the kids home after we promised them a Disney cruise.
Right.
So happy birthday to Amy. This was her 40th birthday present.
Thank you.
And I almost fouled it up. Anyway, so we get on the ship, and it's phenomenal. It's one of the original ships, so it's older, it's smaller than the Dream and the Fantasy, but they reimagined it. They just added new bars, a new Frozen show, new lounges, new everything. I mean, it's crazy what they added to the ship. We got on, we did the sail away party, and our luck continued because I was doing a live Facebook Live video during the sail away party, and the kids were dancing and having a great time.
Amazing party. I mean, it really
it was so cool.
There are characters there, and they're dancing.
Yeah, I think we had gotten a little cocktail.
Yeah, you can get, as soon as you get there, you can get cocktails for kids and adults alike. I mean, it's a great party.
It was a great party. Until the kids were dancing, Jack and Zoe, the 4-year-old twins, were holding each other's hands and dancing around. And Amy was holding on to the two of them. And I said, Amy, let them go. They're going to dance. They're going to be fine. She lets them go. They're holding each other's hands and spinning around. All of a sudden, it turns into a human slingshot.
Within 2 seconds.
Yeah, 2 seconds. It's all it took. They slingshotted?
Yes.
Slingshoot?
No.
Each other, however they did it.
Slingshot, I think.
Slingshots. Shoot. Each other across the deck. Zoe went down on all fours. She got up, bounced right up. Jack went down face first, hit his nose on the wooden deck of the ship, stay down. Amy and I got him up, and I was like, oh, he's fine, until about a gallon of blood started pouring out of his nose. That was terrible.
We should point out, though, that no less than, realistically, 10 to 20, I think, different people, crew members came up to us and were helping us. I mean, they got us, ice, napkins. They were telling us about the ship doctor. I mean, it really was...
Yeah.
You don't want to have that experience, but if something, God forbid, happens, it's really good to know how helpful they can be.
They were awesome.
They really were. And they made, a terrible situation much easier for us, which was really great. And that's important.
They did, yeah. It really made it... I took it from like a horrible moment to, after 10 minutes, he was calm. We had ice down his nose. We're actually looking at the picture right now, right before he went down.
Yeah.
They iced down his nose. It was fine, and they did a great job. The cast members were phenomenal. So we did that. We did the sail away party. We had our, I think Amy and I had an extra cocktail after that because we were so stressed out about poor Jack's nose. And then we went back down to our room to hang out, and then our first dinner was Animator's Palette, and it was awesome.
Yeah, it was incredible.
I think that was probably my favorite meal of the... No. Well, see, I went to everyone. I'm going to be like, that's my favorite. That's my favorite. But yeah, that was really good. If you guys haven't been to Animator's Palette, it starts off with an all black and white animated restaurant. And as the meal goes on, it turns to color, which is really, really cool. But now it's not just pictures.
Right.
They have not 3D, high def video monitors all over the restaurant.
It's amazing.
Where drawings kind of slowly come to life. I can't even explain it. You can't really explain it, right?
No, and it's better not to because it's kind of fun to be surprised.
Yeah, it's remarkable.
Needless to say, the kids are enthralled the whole time. I mean, there's always something to look at because the pictures, they draw the pictures and then pretty quickly, as soon as the one picture is done, another one starts.
Yeah.
So it's a super fun guessing game to try to figure out who it's going to be, and it's great. Oh, and then all of the food, of course, is amazing, but they really, really cater towards you and your needs, as well as kids' needs.
Yeah, they really did. The kids, they pretty much had, I don't know, 4 options for kids' meals for each restaurant. Our kids, of course, don't eat any of those. Except for Jack. He would eat chicken and french fries every night, which was awesome. But the girls kind of ate whatever we brought with us because they wouldn't eat the food. They're picky. They're little. What are you going to do? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I was going to say, too, though, we happened to be sitting with a family who were vegetarians, and they really went out of their way. I mean, every meal, they would order the vegetarian options, and then our server would just randomly bring them another dish that he, felt like fit their needs, and, he wanted them to try. And it was amazing. I mean, they really went above and beyond.
Yeah, that was really cool that they did that. The service... I said on the live videos, and I've said in podcasts and blogs. And so as I was saying, the service is incredible. And at the end of the animator's palette meal, they have a show, and it's not like this little. I mean, it's a big deal.
Oh,
like
it's a huge deal.
I'm not going to spoil it. There is a character appearance at the end of the meal, which is very, very cool. There's music. There's the TV monitors just put together this amazing show with color, and it's awesome. You got to experience it on the Wonder in person to really get how cool it is. It is amazing.
Yes, that's for sure.
So the kids were just blown away by everything, and dessert for the kids. They have Mickey ice cream bars for dessert
every night.
Yeah, I mean,
or they can order the adult options, which sometimes are like kids. Like there was an ice cream sundae for adults that the kids could get. Oh, at anyway, but at Tiana's,
we're getting there.
Beignets. It's great. The food is amazing.
The food was great. I wish I would have made a list. I should have done a better job of making lists of what we ate.
Yeah, it's difficult to remember.
I'll have to look at you know what I can do? I'm going to look at the menus. I'm sure I can find them online, and then put them in the show notes with a little link to what we ate, because we had some really good meals on this trip, on this cruise. Then after dinner, like any normal children, it was 60 degrees the first night. And what did the kids want to do? They wanted to go swimming.
That's true.
In 60-degree weather. So Amy and I said, heck no, we're not getting in that pool. But listen, the pool was heated. They got their bathing suits on and they jumped in. They loved it. They were swimming for like an hour.
Yeah.
And Amy and I got to sit on the side of the pool and just kind of hang out, let them swim in the heated pool. It was awesome. What's really cool about the Disney cruise is the kiddie pool is, I don't know, 2 feet, a foot and a half. I mean, it's
totally safe.
Really, really shallow.
You feel comfortable.
And it was at night, and they had the lifeguards there. He's on
he was right
duty, so it was very cool. So that was a lot of fun. I got to swim. There's also there's a new Dory's Reef section for kids, and then there's is it Aqua Labs? Is that what it's called?
I believe so.
With there's a big kid play area in the middle of the ship, like a water play area, which is a lot of fun. The kids really, really enjoyed that. Amy and I got buckets dumped on us a couple times. It's kind of fun.
It's great.
Amy more than me. She was way more daring than I was. I was like in the back.
I just wasn't aware of it.
Yeah, right? Yeah, she wasn't really paying attention. The buckets were just getting dumped all along the ground, all around her. So then, we had our night. We went... Go on, I'm sorry.
No, right, go ahead. I was just going to say this was their first experience with the Oceaneers Club and Oceaneers Lab.
Yes. So the Oceaneer Club, Oceaneer Lab, we never cruised with kids before. When people tell you that they're not going to want to leave those spaces,
they're not kidding.
It's not a joke. Like and our kids aren't used to not being with us when on vacations. Like they're always with us. As soon as they got a look in those clubs, they were set. They wanted to be in there. They didn't feel like being with us. They really didn't. Like of course, they wanted to have dinner with us and spend time, on the beach, whatever. They wanted to be in those clubs. What did they have? They had Cinderella read them a story.
Right.
One day. They had Doc McStuffins give checkups.
Right, and they made a project with Doc McStuffins.
Right, they made
Doc headbands.
Doc headbands, like
they
a
met
craft.
Captain America.
Yeah, they hung out with Captain America for a while.
They made some sort of like spaceship or something with Buzz Lightyear. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, Buzz Lightyear. Then they did they witnessed Anna and Elsa's coronation.
Oh, right.
In the Oceaneer Lab, or the club, Oceaneer Club. Which one was it? Club. And they also have a nursery, It's a Small World nursery,
right, for
kids under 3. And then kids 3 to 12 can go to the labs. So if you're a parent, if you're a negligent parent like Amy and I, you can just drop your kids off and be like, hey, I'm cruising. I'll see you. Because you really could.
Yeah, you could.
So Amy and I went to, the first time they were in the Oceaneer Club, we went to we checked out the adult areas of the ship. So we checked out the Crown and Fin pub, which is the new British style pub
that
they have
was
on the ship.
a great experience, yeah.
Very cool. When you're in there, you just forget you're on a cruise ship.
You do.
You feel like you're at like Raglan Road.
I think you forget a lot that you're on a cruise ship.
Yeah, well, we had such smooth sailing, too.
Did.
I mean, we had very, very calm waters. We were very lucky. So, yeah, we did the Crown and Fin pub, which is amazing. We did the Cadillac Lounge one night, which is very, very cool. We didn't do Azure, whatever that one was.
No,
we didn't get to go in there because they always had like a game night or something going on. So then, our stateroom was great. We had the family stateroom with a veranda on deck 8. So we literally had 3 beds We have four beds in our stateroom. We had a queen bed. We had a pull-down Murphy bed, 2 pull-down Murphy beds, and a couch that converted to a bed. So the kids loved it. It was like bunk beds, another Murphy bed, and a queen bed. It was amazing.
Yeah, there was.
I think I slept in 3 different places. I don't think I slept in the same spot because the kids were like in a bed with Amy. So I don't think I slept in the same spot in the 3 nights of the cruise. So Ames, can you tell the story, please, about the Murphy bed?
So the first day that we were there, you were trying to get the Murphy bed, to get it. I don't even know why, but you
because I was doing a Facebook Live video. I wanted to show people the beds.
That's right.
But you can't open it without a cast member to help you.
Right. So, but we didn't know. So I called down, and I said, "Can you tell us how to open the Murphy bed?" And they said, "Oh no, your stateroom
attendant. Host. I think host is right.
Right. We'll come and do that for you while you're at dinner." So that's amazing. That was incredible. So, but we said to the kids, the man is going to come and help us with the Murphy bed. So that turned into, for the kids, thinking that his name was Murphy, the person who cleaned our room and set up the beds. So every subsequent night, they would say, "Mom," but before we went to dinner, "Mom, make sure you call Murphy so he can come and set up our beds and give us our chocolates," which each night he would give chocolates.
And do the towel animal, too.
Oh, the towel animals, which were incredible. So that was pretty funny.
That was fun. Murphy will always be remembered on by our family for their first cruise because Murphy was a heck of a guy.
Yes, the other day.
I think his name was it Fernando or Alejandro?
Yeah, I was just trying to remember something like that.
At the end of it.
Ronaldo.
I'm sorry. Sorry, Ronaldo, if you are a podcast listener. I got your name wrong. Yeah, it was very cool. It's a really funny story. So, were you going to say something?
No, we're good. Go ahead.
All right. So the next day, first thing we had reservations for at 9 a.m. for the Pirates League because it was our pirate night on the ship. Actually, the reservations got fouled up, and we only had one confirmation for Zoe. So we went up the night before to the Pirates League or the Bippity Boppity Boutique to make sure we had confirmations for Jack and Alexa as well. Got up to the thing. The kids were at the Oceaneer Club. Got to the Bippity Boppity Boutique at 9:01. It had closed at 9. We didn't know. So we were like, oh no. What are we going to do? All of a sudden, this cast member kind of comes out of nowhere.
And her name is Ursula, which I just thought added to the magic of the moment.
So Ursula from Disney Cruise Line, from the Wonder, from the Bippity Boppity Boutique, thank you so much. She said, "Can I help you guys?" And we said, yeah. We explained to her the problem. And she said, okay. She took the confirmation. She said, the door was locked. It was closed. She said, you know what? Let me go in and check, see what I can do. She was in there 7-8 minutes, came out and said, I took care of it. All 3 of them are signed up. Don't worry about it. Really, talk about service and making magic. It was awesome.
Because that could really have been a deal breaker.
That could have really
That was a big deal, yeah.
Yeah, come on. The 3 little kids we told them for weeks they were doing the Pirates League. So, yeah, it could have been a bad situation for us. But we got to do the Pirates League, which was the kids freaked out. They loved it.
And, but just to say, as soon as we walked up in the morning at 9, Ursula was there again. And she remembered all of their names, which made them feel like, oh my gosh, this is magical that this person knows our names.
Yeah, it was very
amazing.
Cool. The Pirates League was great. You paid, I think it was 90 or 100
a kid?
100 a kid. They got to pick out.
Costume.
Yeah, they had to pick out their own costume. They got to pick out what kind of pirate they wanted to be. They rolled dice and got to find their pirate name. They got swords. The whole experience was awesome.
And the girls got to keep their lipstick and nail polish and their face things, which I think it's a really good deal for them.
It was, it really was. It was very, very cool that they got all that stuff. And they said a pirate pledge at the end. They became actual pirates. It was really, really cool. So we loved that. Then they wore their stuff all day, like literally all day. Except, of course, Zoe, who's our problem child, who before dinner wanted to take it off. Before the actual pirate night part of the day, wanted to take it off. Then what else did we do? That day we met Tinkerbell, which was very cool. We didn't really wait in line for other characters, only because we had met several characters.
That is good to know about those. So there is like a princess. There's 4 princesses, I think it was.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But that's a ticketed event. You don't have to pay for it, but you do have to sign up for it in advance in order to take advantage of it.
Yeah, so they had Ariel, Cinderella, Rapunzel, and Tiana. And you can meet all 4 of them like bang, 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 bang. But you do have to have a ticket. in order to do that.
So make sure if your kids want to see them to reserve it in advance.
So then moving forward, looking at some more pictures. Ice cream on the deck.
Oh, that was incredible.
They have a little stand called Ice Cream. It's from Mike from Monsters Inc. EYE Scream. Literally, your children can get ice cream wherever they want. They figured out, our kids figured out how to use the machine.
Yes, they did.
So they were getting their own ice cream cones.
I mean, and it's not open or closed. It's always open.
It's just always open, yeah.
No one has to man it.
Right. So that was open the entire time. That day we also did a dance-along dance contest thing with Jake and Sophia and a cruise line cast member. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's the Pirate Princess Party.
Pirate Princess Party. Yeah, we did that. Amazing. Our dinner that night, the second night, was at Tiana's place, which, again, I think that actually was my favorite meal.
It was unbelievable.
It was awesome. The food was great. The restaurant is
the
really,
menu.
really cool.
I wanted to take the menu.
Yeah, the menu of the kids' menu is a saxophone. Not a real saxophone. That would be difficult to pass out to children. And then the adult menu looks just like the graphic from the movie, which is really cool. They have a jazz trio that plays pretty much the entire time. A live jazz trio that plays pretty much the entire time your meal's going on, which is very, very cool. We met Tiana. She comes over to your table. Then Louis the alligator comes out playing a trumpet in the middle of the meal. It's like Southern New Orleans style food. It was awesome. Like, I can't recommend that. Like, when you go on a Disney cruise, make sure you hit your assigned restaurants every night.
Yes, for sure. Don't eat
at the buffet, or unless you're going to go to Palo or Remy.
Sure, which is also
it was very cool.
Great experiences.
Our cast. We're kind of going to go quickly now because we're going on to 45 minutes already. Our Castaway Key day was the next day. Awesome. There's a kids club on Castaway Key. Of course, our kids found that right away. Amy and I got to go over to the Conked Out bar, grab a cocktail. Yes, we did have several cocktails on this trip. Of course we did.
Of course we did. That's what you're supposed to do on a cruise.
Right. So then we love Castaway Key. The one thing I didn't love was the food there. It's a standard barbecue stuff. I know. What else could you expect on a little island? I just thought it was just blah.
Well, I think that when you go to what's the Serenity Bay?
Yeah, Serenity Bay for the adults, yes.
That's a little bit, the food is different.
Yeah, we actually met a couple who said their lunch was amazing. Our food was just all right. It was, burgers and hot dogs and whatever. It's fine, but it didn't, you're used to that cruise line food.
True.
It doesn't exactly live up to that standard. But the kids had a great time. Castaway Key, we had a great time. We didn't do a whole lot of the activities. They kind of wanted to just hang out. We explored the island on our own. Then that night, that was our last night, right? Yeah. It was our last day there. We met Captain Jack Sparrow on Castaway Key.
That was amazing.
That was really cool. The kids loved that. And our last day, they hung out by the pool in the afternoon while everybody else was at Castaway Key because we were still at the port. That was nice, having the pool to ourselves. The kids were kind of just playing. They had a blast after, our time on the island. And our last dinner, as I'm trying to...
wait, before that, we should say, so they had every night they would have the shows.
Right.
And so what was cool was, so they had one, during the early dinner seating, if you were eating, you could see the show at the later dinner seating and vice versa. But for the Frozen show, which was on our last day, they added a showing at, I think it was 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yes, 3 o'clock, yep.
So if you were back from Castaway Key, you were able to watch that, which was perfect because our kids, of course, every night wanted to go to the Oceaneers Club. Yeah. So we were able to see that show with them, which was unbelievable.
The Frozen show was phenomenal.
Oh, it was Broadway.
That's Broadway level. It's as good as anything you'll see in any Disney park by a million miles.
Yes, for sure.
If not better. It's phenomenal.
And just
the live actors, the singers, everything. Yes. It's just awesome.
And they have popcorn and drinks and anything you want.
I mean, listen, the Disney cruise, to kind of, not to wrap it up, but it's everything you could think of and much, much more. You don't really realize, especially with little kids, how awesome it's going to be. There's so much to do that you have to pick between awesome activities. Like we were saying this on the cruise, right? Yep. You have to actually say, okay, I'm going to skip this awesome activity.
What sounds more amazing?
Yeah, because, there's the Pirate Princess Party at the same time as like Wheel of Fortune and like a scavenger hunt.
Yes.
So you have to pick which one you're going to sit out. And it's kind of hard.
It is.
You have to decide like, okay, this one sounds like more fun than this one. So yeah. Then moving on, our last night we had dinner at Triton's, which was actually my least favorite dinner of the trip.
It wasn't as eventful.
Listen, on the 3-day cruise, I feel like the food isn't as top level. So the food was very good. Don't get me wrong. But there's no lobster on a 3-day cruise as far as there's no
Beef Wellington.
Beef Wellington. I wanted to break out my inner Gordon Ramsay and have my Beef Wellington. But listen, the food was good. It just wasn't the experience in Triton's as it was in Tiana's and Animator's Palette. It's a much bigger production in those two. So I kind of wish we started at Triton's and then finished at one of the other two. But listen, I'm complaining about some ridiculous issue. I really shouldn't complain.
But the end of end of the meal at Triton's was one of the best things ever because you decided not to get dessert. So he brought, everyone else at the table, I think, did bring desserts. So our server brought over everyone's plate, and he brought a plate for you too. And he said, "What did you order?" And Phil said, "Oh no, I didn't order anything." And he said again, "Are you sure what did you order?" And he said, Phil said nothing. And then he said, "Well, go ahead and lift the silver top." And you lift it. And in chocolate sauce, it says nothing in like very fancy handwriting and had Mickey heads at like sprinkles on it. So it actually was a dessert all by itself.
Yeah, what's really funny is I think I probably got in trouble a little bit by the vegetarian family that was sitting next to us because their daughter was the same age as our daughter. She was 6, and she was like, I showed it to her, and she said, "Oh my God, that's so cool." And I was like, "Do you want it?" And she was like, "Yeah." So I was like, "All right." So I gave it to her, and she was like using her spoon to eat the chocolate like sauce off the table, off the plate. So they were giving me looks like, this guy, but. You know, hey, listen.
It's a cruise.
It's a cruise. Let the kid eat chocolate if the kid wants chocolate.
But it was that's another thing that just blew my mind. Oh, and then one time you had to go to the bathroom. And as he left to go to the bathroom, the food came over. And I didn't even say anything. But immediately following the food being placed in front of his empty chair, they put, a warming plate on top of it to keep his dinner warm while he was in the bathroom, which I've been on a lot of different cruise lines, and I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, little touches like that make the Disney cruise. It just makes it better.
Experience.
And I put it on Facebook this week, our drink server noticed every night that we were cutting up our son's food, and the one night we kind of had our hands full. And she came over as we were getting everything else together with the other kids, and she cut his food for him. And it's just not a big deal, but in the moment, doing something like that is a huge deal. It helped de-stress the whole table, so it was really awesome. So that is pretty much going to wrap it up. It's really funny is we're trying to fit this podcast recording in between the kids being at school, so we have to go pick up our twins at school right now. So that's going to wrap it up. If we were a little rushed at the end, I'm sorry. I apologize. But thank you for listening.
And thank you for having me.
And thank you to my wonderful wife and always welcome guest, Amy, for being back on.
No, this was so much fun, and we really highly recommend it. It's just an amazing experience.
With that, that's it. Thanks for listening. And that is going to do it for this special edition of the Ear to There podcast. Thank you once again to my awesome wife, Amy, for helping me record this one and for somehow finding the time to record it with me. I mean, she is definitely 100% the glue that keeps our family together. The stuff she does with our kids, how much time she allows me to put into my career, to my job, to the podcast, to meetups, to all kinds of things. I mean, I can't thank her enough. She is really the ultimate mom and the ultimate wife. So thank you to Amy once again for doing this one with me. And thank you for listening. I hope this was a good one. I hope you got a little bit out of it as far as what it's like to take a land and sea vacation, or even what it's like just to be on the Disney Cruise Line itself. It's an amazing experience. So I really hope you think about it for your next vacation. And of course, if you do think about it, I think you know who to contact to make all of your Disney Cruise Line dreams come true. Yes, that is directly to Disney. No, it's me. Give me a call or email me at phil@eartotheretravel.com. I am so excited to help you plan your ultimate cruise, your ultimate land and sea vacation, or literally anything else you'd like to book. And all I ask is, if you did enjoy this episode, please share it with someone. You may have that family member or the friend who is on the fence about taking a Disney cruise. Maybe they think it's just for kids and there's not enough for adults. I couldn't disagree with that more. So share it with them. Send them the link to the episode. It is greatly appreciated. Thank you so much in advance for that. And as always, just remember, there will be a new episode of the Ear to There podcast each and every Monday morning, as well as a new episode of the Ear to There podcast, Walt Disney World Word of the Week. And that will be on each and every Wednesday morning. So until next time, thank you again so much for listening. Have a great week. Bye-bye.